Take me to work. All right, we're off today, Monday. Oh, jeez, man. All right, so today's kind of a weird day. Oh, weekend flew by. Today's Monday, and here we are, heading in for a sales meeting. But just found out that over the weekend, a younger guy, 28-year-old, died in a motorcycle accident in our town. They haven't released the name, but the description of the person sounds like somebody that is a pretty frequent customer at our pizza place. We're hoping it's not, because the guy was really a super nice guy, young. But our little daughter, who's 7, had a huge crush on the guy too. So I don't know how she's gonna take it, but we don't know. We they haven't released any names, so we're hoping it wasn't him. But the interesting thing is 2 weeks ago my son came to me and he's like, "Dad, what do you think? I think I'm gonna buy this motorcycle." And it was a Kawasaki kind of cafe style, crotch rocket style motorcycle, 1,000 cc's. I'm like, dude, you've never ridden a motorcycle. You're gonna buy this motorcycle. You know, I know you like to go out and drink and stuff. I'm like, I was like, I don't think it's a good idea. He goes, I want to buy it, because he sold a car and he's making a little bit of money doing some stuff. So last week he came back to me and he said, "Dad, I'm not going to buy that motorcycle. What I'm going to do is I'm going to save my money up and maybe we could find and fix and flip a house or something." And I said, "That sounds like a great idea." And he set an amount that he wanted to have saved up by the fall. And it's like, in our business, it's very seasonal. I mean, winter is completely dead. No one wants to do anything. No one's calling for appointments. So we generally have 2, 3, sometimes 4 months of not much going on, and it's a great time to do side projects, side hustles, whatever you can do. So I'm so glad he didn't. But what was weird is when I first saw about the accident online, I automatically thought, was that him? Did he, because it said 20-year-old man in car accident, dies, whatever. And I'm thinking, oh man, did he get that motorcycle? And then I texted him about something else and he responded, and I'm like, oh, thank God. But it honestly just shows you, no matter what you get hung up on, no matter the stupid stuff that happens every day, you got to find out what life's all about, because it's short and it could end tomorrow. You never know. I mean, this was a young guy, 28 years old, is not old, and probably woke up like every other day, did whatever, decided to take his motorcycle out for a ride. Who knows what happened? Motorcycles are, it's usually not the motorcycle driver, it's other drivers that don't see motorcycles, but who knows what happened? And he's gone. So we get hung up in everyday life about money and, this and that and the little petty things like flag football. And, in the end, it doesn't matter. It's like somebody said once, somebody was complaining to somebody about something. I don't even know what it was. And the person said, in 10 years, will anyone care? And the guy's like, well, probably not. And that's kind of a good litmus test. Even shorter. I mean, some things people won't care about next week. And we get all hung up on it. And, you know, when you think about the grand scheme of things, what's going to last? What's going to really matter? I mean, I'm involved in some pretty bad things. Some things that have really broken me down personally, financially, mentally. I would even say physically because of the stress. And the thing is, you know, once it's done and everything's figured out, 10 years from now, it'll just be like a blip in my history. Oh, remember when we had to deal with this junk? And then there's smaller things that you worry about. Oh, this customer's upset. And, you know, there's so many times when I'm just like, I hear about the situations that, you know, people are dealing with in our company. Like, this customer is so upset because this happened or that happened, and it took 2 days longer. Perfect example. The first year I coached anything, it was flag football. And we had a game. And for whatever reason, the guy who was telling us the times for the games, or whoever was running it, wasn't getting the times right. So this game was at noon, supposedly at noon. So I tell everyone to get there 45 minutes early, and we'll warm up, blah, blah, blah. Well, we warm up everything. We're about ready to take the field. We go out there, and the field's already taken. And so I talked to whoever's running it. It's like, oh no, you guys play at 1 o'clock. Like, oh, okay. So that's a pain in the butt. We have to wait another hour. It's noon. Kids are hungry. So I tell everyone about it, and you know, it's not in my control. I have nothing to do with that. I was told it was noon. So I'm walking back away from the kids and everything, and I get approached by two parents, a couple of one of the kids, or parents of one of the kids, a couple, and they just ream me out. Like, if this was my job, I'd be fired, blah, blah, blah. It was like the most insane thing I had ever even dealt with. So I think I just passed by the area where that accident was. It's actually right on our way to work when we drive to work, so it's pretty sad. But anyways, went off on me, and I'm like, I'm a volunteer coach. I'm a dad. I'm just, you know, I don't control the schedule, you know, and I didn't fight with them, and I just kind of let them vent, and I was like, okay, well, like I said, the game's an hour later. I'm apologized. I don't know what I was apologizing for, and to this day, that was 3 years ago, and I still think of that as like, what really in those people's lives was so horrible. I mean, the dad was telling me if this was his job, he'd be fired if he did his job like this. And I'm thinking, I'm coaching a bunch of, I don't know, at the time it was like fifth grade flag football players. And I'm just like, this is insane. But, you know, I guess I've never really, and that's probably a good thing for me, is I never really got hung up on crap like that. Got hung up on the small stuff. I think it's Stephen Covey or somebody back in the day. I was involved in a company that did it was like a multi-level marketing financial services company that I got into, and I thought it was going to be the greatest thing ever. And it ended up, I wasn't good at it. You had to constantly pester people and recruit people and whatever. Someday I'll talk about the whole thing, but the one thing I did get out of that experience was about self-improvement, reading, learning, constantly learning, sharpening your axe. You know, basically Stephen Covey, had several books around that era, and just little things come out every so often that, and one of the things was don't sweat the small things. And whether that's Stephen Covey or just from the general training and experience of the thing, but really the small things. And again, you look at it, you're like, to those people, did that hour mean that much? In a week? Did anyone care? In a month? I bet no one but me even remembers that. And the only reason why I remember it, because I got yelled at for like 10 minutes about, how I'd be fired and all this other stuff. And I'm like, oh my God. It was crazy. I think we ended up winning that game though, because we were good that year. We were 6-1-1. But anyway, that's another story. But yeah, it's sad. And you hear about accidents and people dying and all stuff, and I think that's bad. But when it could possibly be somebody that somebody that was a good person. I mean, because he was a good person. He was always good to my daughter, friendly. He would come with all of his friends, for karaoke and I think bingo and all the other things we do at the bar. I don't know. I hope it wasn't him, but I have a bad feeling. A lot of people have a bad feeling it might be him. So anyways, know this, life is short. You need to appreciate everything. You need to enjoy life. And honestly, I'm the worst at this. For the last 5 years, I've been kind of living in a shell. Ever since before the whole COVID thing happened, I was traveling. I was doing things with the kids. I had, I felt a charmed life to the point where when the COVID hit, I was like, okay, well, I'm going to retire. And I kind of semi-retired. I kind of stepped aside and everything went to crap. And then some lawsuits happened. That one of them still going on. I mean, it just drained me, and now I literally haven't been on a vacation in years. If I do, it's not like I used to. We used to say, okay, this is the budget, let's have the best experience we can, and we'd go to nice hotels and we'd stay at nice Airbnbs, but now it's like, you have to rebuild it. Anyways, I don't know how that relates to the other stuff, but like I say, it's like everything is related. So I'm gonna kind of end this a little before I get to work, but I pray for that person who got in that motorcycle accident. I think they're in a better place, but still, it's not easy. And I pray it's not the guy that we know. I just do. So enjoy life. Appreciate the people that are around you. And we'll see you later.